Hey there everybody, Professor Cloud here again with another recommended game. Now, this game, Dreamscaper, is very much what you would call a Hades-like. Many of the mechanics that we're going to talk about in this game, you can equate to similar mechanics in Hades. However, there are absolutely some differences that make this game a lot of fun. I have been enjoying the hell out of this game. Maybe not as much as I have enjoyed my plays of Hades, but I still love this game equally for its differences. The combat is different. The story is certainly very different, as this game does not take place in a Greek mythological setting. It is very much taking place in your everyday small town. So what exactly is Dreamscaper? It is a action roguelike game. It was made by three gentlemen that had split away from other development companies to start their own. This is their first title. And as I said, I've been absolutely loving it. I am very deep into my run, but have still not made it all the way to the end. There are bosses at the end of each biome, just like we talked about in Hades. There are more biomes, though, in this game than there are in Hades. That being said, the ability to move around within a given biome is also much, much easier. And let's go ahead and talk about that by playing the game. We'll talk about the hub after a specific run, but let's go ahead and start off a brand new run. As you can see here, I already have a save game, and I'm 44% through the game. I've done 37 runs so far, with none of them being successful. This is our hub. It is our bedroom. We're playing as this young lady right here. And the entire point of this game, to actually do the combat, to move forward in the game, is to dream. Hence the word Dreamscaper. So we're going to go to our bed. We're going to go to sleep. And then, much like in Hades, you do have the ability to set difficulty levels for each run. I don't know that there are things tied to these difficulty levels. I have not seen that there are. But we'll just go ahead and use normal as an example here. And this will put us into the first biome. We always start here at our central location. And then, as you can see up in the top right-hand corner, we have a map. A very, very different technique than what is in Hades. This is more like other action roguelikes that I have played, where you do have the ability to not only see the map, but actually move back and forth within the map as you make it more available. The question marks show treasure locations, so let's go to one of those. This is a puzzle-based treasure location, very similar to a Minesweeper. And let's see, let me go ahead and solve the puzzle here real quickly. And this is going to give us access to a Lucid attack upgrade. Now, what exactly is a Lucid attack? This is a magic attack. So, again, I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons to Hades here. You have a melee weapon, you have a ranged weapon. If you look up in the top left-hand corner, there are two circles under that timer. I'll talk about the timer in a second. Each one of those circles corresponds to a magic attack or a lucid attack that are triggered off of the RB and LB buttons. This is an ice damage one. Because you only come into the game with one magic attack, I'm going to go ahead and grab this, but I could recycle it and take away a specific currency that can then be used to purchase upgrades later at a marketplace. So grab that. So I now have two different attacks. Now, what exactly do I have equipped right now? If we look here at my inventory, I have nunchucks as my weapon. I have a frisbee as my range. You also have defense automatically equipped. In this case, the blowback. I also have a specific type of dodge of which that can be changed. You'll also notice underneath of the name of the specific item, there is a mastery. The more items that you master, you get specific additional attributes for those mastered items. So if we look at Blowback, because of the fact that this has been fully mastered, I have a 50% chance to parry triggers and surge, sending enemies flying. That was not there before I mastered the actual item. We've then got the 2 Lucid attacks, Eden Beam and Frost Fracture, which we just got. We also have keepsakes that can be attached to us, which provide additional attributes over time. We also, all the way down in the bottom left-hand corner, have influence. These influences are associated with the relationships that we're going to be building in the hub world, and obviously I'll talk about that later. We can change these, but primarily you're going to change them inside of the hub before you go into a run. You cannot change them inside of a run unless you're getting something new. And then, of course, you can see all of our stats over on the far right-hand side. Some of them are going to be underneath of my camera. So let's go ahead and do a battle sequence so that you can see what this is like. So remember, I've got nunchucks and a ranged weapon. So I just picked up some currency for killing this guy. I'm going to use my... There was my ranged attack. Alright, excellent. Now, if you see the map up in the top right-hand corner, and actually, you can easily teleport from square to square. Obviously, this is all randomly generated prior to each run, and actually before entering into each biome. That left-hand item right directly underneath of where I currently am sitting, and where I'm currently sitting is denoted by the triangle up in the top right-hand corner of the box. That is where the boss is for this particular area. So needless to say, I don't want to go there yet. I could. I absolutely could. But the optimal way to handle this, of course, is to try and clear out as many areas as possible without losing any health, so that you can then go in at full strength and with the most number of upgrades possible before taking on the boss. Very, very similar to the way that you would handle the biomes inside of Hades as well. But you have much more control of moving around within the map. So let's go back and clear out a couple of these other additional upgrade areas, the ones with the question marks. This is one that they're just sitting out here. All you have to do is you're only allowed to choose one, and you just pick whichever one is going to make the most sense for you. We have the Poison Vial, which is an additional keepsake, which is going to add poison to all of your attacks. We've got a different type of shield, which is at level 3, whereas my current one is at level 1. It's also one that has not been mastered yet. So I might want to use it just to build up the mastery of the particular armor. And then I have Kunai, which is a different type of ranged weapon. The problem that I have with the Kunai is you're always going to throw 3 at a time, and they fan out, which means if you're aiming at one specific individual, you're basically wasting two kunai at the time. So it's going to be your choice. I actually am going to go with the upgraded shield, and then I'm going to recycle this one so that I can get the essence. Bottom left hand corner are 3 items: keys, bombs, and essence, I believe is what the term is for the currency. Keys are needed to open up access to certain map squares. Bombs are needed to blow away obstacles inside of a given square, and in some cases also open up additional squares. And then, of course, essence, as I talked about, is what we're going to use for our currency. Okay, so we've cleared out this room. I'm going to go ahead and run back. I'll show you the teleportation in a little bit. Let's go over to the next question mark. And this one's going to grant us a bomb. Very good. So we now have an additional bomb to use. If you look up in the top right-hand corner at the map, there is a square that has a red rectangle sitting in front of it. That's a key symbol, letting us know that we can't get into that square without having a key. Alright. Let me use my... There was one of my Lucid attacks. Was able to freeze this guy. Came in very, very handy. Here is one of those obstacles that I talked about. So I can actually push down on my D-pad. That'll drop a bomb. Blow away that obstacle. There are two different types of obstacles. Cement obstacles, like that one there. They will usually give up some type of currency. There are multiple types of currency. Only one type of currency can be used in the actual run. Then there are other types that you're going to collect that you can only use in the hub world. And as you can see here, we've got an unlock option. So we'll unlock that. And we got another upgrade room. Now this one only provides for one upgrade. Click on open. This one is a melee weapon called Twin Wolf Heads. It's basically a set of gloves that would be put onto your fist, so you would be needing to be very, very close. I am not a fan, which is why the mastery is so low. So I'm going to go ahead and put those, recycle those. They're also called gauntlets, is another way of terming this. So I'm pretty deep into the map at this point. Let's go back and go to our center so that we can go downward into the other squares. You'll notice here there was a blue silhouette or ghost. You'll see those throughout the gameplay. The storyline behind this game is very much tied to the young lady that we're playing as. We are basically reliving certain memories of hers from her childhood. And those are going to help to bring together the relationships that you're going to have in the hub world in between runs. I don't want to give away too much. Some of them can be very, very interesting. It is a very different type of story than what you would be getting from a Hades. There was my dodge, as you can see, called Lightspeed. There we go. And there are health items that will pop up from time to time. You can recycle them or use them. I have taken a small hit, if you notice up in the top left corner. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Then there was another item that was a currency. That one was called Resolve. There are 3 other currencies that are only used in the hub world. Green, blue, and yellow. And each one of them will have a different use in the hub world. And of course, we'll talk about that when we go back. Nice. That was well done. Okay, so this is the second type of obstacle. This is an ice obstacle. These you can actually just break apart with your melee weapon. Okay, so there was another one. That one was Inspiration. So we've had Resolve and Inspiration, and then there's our third called Glass. Those are your different currencies. You can see them down in the bottom right-hand corner. The health here is not needed at the moment, so I'm going to leave it. Use my bomb to open up this door. Gives us a bunch of essence. Use the bomb to open up this door, which is the marketplace door. And then let me go back to this last upgrade room. Which gives us Pinwheel, which increases the damage of wind attacks. I'm going to go ahead and take it. I don't have any wind attacks. But you never know what you might have as you continue through the run. Now you'll notice I'm sitting here exploring. There is one additional item. So very similar to what happened in Hades, but in the hub world. As you play through a given run, you might find these yellow, what looks like yellow smoke, coming up off of maybe this bench, or maybe these bikes. They are specific memories that are going to give you information, and there are 45 of them to find throughout the entire playthrough. a certain number in each biome. They will give you the memory not only of her childhood, but at the end of it will also give you access to unlock a new weapon, a new Lucid attack, a new keepsake, and so on. And I'll show you all of that when we get to the hub world. Alrighty, the last thing then that I have to do is to go to the marketplace. Let me show that to you real quick, and then we'll do the boss fight. So here's our marketplace. We have 3 different levels. The bottom level is going to give you additional resources that you might be able to use. In this case, keys or health. Then we have a keepsake here in the middle, which increases my health by 5%. Sorry, I kept saying essence as my currency. It's actually sand. So think of the gentleman who manages your dreams, the Sandman. That's where they're coming from with that. And then up here at the top are new weapons, armor, lucid attacks, and so on. So we've got the Draconic Rage, we've got Breaking, and Geyser. All of these are different attacks that we could use. However, I don't have enough sand to buy either one of them. So unfortunately, we're not going to go with that. I'm just going to buy the Potted Plant to increase my health by 5%. And then I am going to go back to here to go into the boss fight. So I'll show you the first boss fight, and then I'm going to die in the next biome area so that we can see the hub. Because I've made it all the way to the 4th of the 6 biomes. There are 6 total biomes available. Once you have beaten a boss the first time, you can skip it if you want to in order to speed up your gameplay. This is something that is a very, very unique mechanic that I've not seen in any other action roguelike game. So as you can see here, we have a pillar that will allow me to skip, or I can actually fight. So I'm going to go ahead and fight this particular boss. I'll let you see the cutscene. We're basically fighting a big fish. And this is going to be the way that you're going to beat him. By the way, every single melee weapon has 2 attacks. They have a light attack with the X button and a strong attack with the Y. Some of the bosses, the lucid attacks really have a big play. Others of them do not. And I just got hit. Fairly easy battle now. I've beaten him 30 plus times, so I kind of know his moveset. And just like that, he's sand. So as you can see, we've got a whole lot of currency. Glass, resolve, a spark. That's an additional currency that you can use to unlock items. Inspiration, resolve. We got a new keepsake, which increases our health as well as wind damage. Except for I don't have any wind attacks. And we descend. So over on your right-hand side is the progress. That actually lets you know which biome you're in. And as you can see, there are a total of 6. I have only made it into 4 of the 6. You also then get some stats on the particular biome you were in. The intensity rating is based off of those difficulty items that we showed when we first started the run, when you set your difficulty. And then I can just save and quit, which is no, I'm going to continue, then I'll die so that we can actually make it back to the hub world. Here's our inventory. This is what our inventory currently looks like based off of everything that we picked up during that particular run. So I'm going to continue on. And we're going to descend to the next biome. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to an attack area, a combat area, and I'm just going to go ahead and die. Okay, so we're dead, which is going to send us back to our bedroom. Now, the bedroom is just the beginning of the hub world. So this is the overall stats. Inside of your bedroom are two distinct areas that you need to be aware of. The first one is the Dream Journal. This is where you're going to see which items you've mastered, which ones you currently have equipped, where you might want to change your loadout for the next run. So, for example, I am not a big fan of the Frisbee. The Frisbee is a nice item because it's got bounce back, it has the ability to bounce across 2 or 3 different enemies. However, it's got a very, very low DPS. So I'm probably going to change that one. And I'm over on the right-hand side now. All of these are the ones that I have available. The ones that have crowns next to them, I've fully mastered. And then underneath are the masteries of the ones that I have not. So I'm going to choose one that I have not mastered. Wand of Blasting. Let's try that one. I don't know anything about that one. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the blowback shield. Let's go with the Bulwark of Buffing. And I'll do the same thing with the Eden Beam. I think I'll use Frost Fracture. I really liked Frost Fracture. That was a fun Lucid attack to use. Then we can go over to our to-do list. The to-do list is very similar to, and I don't remember the name of the mechanic, but whenever Hades went to, or sorry, not Hades, but the son of Hades, went to his bedroom, there was a item over on the left-hand side of the room where, as you got more and more achievements through the world, found different things, talked to different people, you would then check off to-dos off of those lists, and when you succeeded in one, you would get a reward. Whether it was diamonds or additional powers, whatever it was. The same thing is true here. That's what this to-do list is for. These are all the ones that I have not currently achieved. Some of them are tied to mastery of shields or weapons. Some of them are tied to the relationships with the characters of the world. And then you'll see I've got a lot of them that have already been done, and they give specific rewards. We then have notes related to each of the individuals that we're going to be talking to and what their likes and dislikes are. As you build up relationships, those relationships then tie back to influences that go along with your loadout. If we go back to the loadout screen, we have the influences of each individual down here. I'm currently using Carl, which improves my lightning attacks. But you can change these at any time. These are the one thing that you can actually change during a run by changing them after a boss fight. And then lastly are the memories. So remember I said yellow smoke coming off of specific items. Here are the items that I've seen so far. For example, the very first area I ever went into when I started my run was the tire swing. The tire swing had that yellow smoke, or what looked like yellow smoke coming off of it. This was the memory. And that memory actually unlocked a specific item. Now, let's go actually out. The other area of the bedroom is right here. This is where you can craft items to give to your relationships. And by doing so, it increases the relationship meter of whoever it is that you're giving the gift to. But you do have to have a specific amount of, I believe it's influence, in order to be able to build these specific items. And then based off of the notes that you've learned from talking to those individuals will let you know who to give to what. I really like it. I wasn't sure I would, but it's been a lot of fun. It's really introduced some interesting conversations with the individuals out in the world. So we can leave our bedroom because there are some different upgrade mechanics in the hub world. If we go to Taylor Park, for example, there's another one of our relationships. This is Bruce. We talk to him. Right now, we don't have any gifts to give him, so we just chit-chat. And via this one sentence, this may tell us something new about his likes or dislikes. It did. It revealed that he has an interest in language. That increased our relationship with him. And then, do we have a gift that would tie into that liking? Unfortunately, I do not. So we have to continue on. Now, you'll notice there's something coming up off of this bench. This is a place to actually spend one of the bottom right currencies. This is resolve, I believe. And this is where we can do things like additional 20% to status durations. Each rank grants 5% extra damage to bosses. Each rank grants 10% critical extinguish. There are a large number of additional buffs that you can put on yourself and put onto your character in between runs to help improve your ability to get through a run. And of course, each one of them has a different cost. Some of them are there is, I think I had maxed out one. Yeah, this one. Grants one starting companion on a new run. So you might have noticed I had something that was kind of spinning around me. That was a companion. He would attack, cause damage for any particular enemy that came within his radius. So there are others that will also get locked over time as I get to their max levels. Let's go on to another area. So, Zeitgeist Records. These are all areas in the town that the young lady lives in. This gives us access to Rose. Chit-chat again. Rose, she's talking about poker. We learned something new that she really likes poker. Again, I don't have anything to give her, and there's nothing else special about this particular area other than talking to her. If we go to Alexandria Books, we have 2 additional individuals. We go to the Silk Lounge. Now, the Silk Lounge not only has, right now, 2 individuals, but you'll notice here we can daydream, and this one will take an additional individual currency for us to unlock different types of rooms in the biomes. So right now, you'll see I have 2 of them that are set up, which unlocked a piece of equipment in the merchant room, unlocked a utility item in the merchant room. So that marketplace room that I was in, there were only 2 weapons available when I first, or sorry, 1 weapon available when I first started on the top tier, and there was no keepsakes available in the bottom tier. I had to unlock those via these 2 items. Then, do you want to have the different types of puzzle rooms that might be available? But do you want them in each of the different biomes as possible random rooms to show up? This is where you can unlock stuff like that. You can also unlock things like granting an extra 10% sand for destroyed keepsakes. Grants a 5% chance to spawn a challenge room. These are going to change the way that each biome is randomly generated. These types of things are all very unique to this particular game. I have not seen them necessarily in other action roguelikes that I've played. And then the last one is the Kespechi Cafe. So we got another individual, but then right over here is the sketchbook. The sketchbook is where, when you find memories in the world, either in the hub world or in the biomes, it will open up an option here in the sketchbook for you to unlock a new weapon, a new dodge, a new armor, a new lucid attack, and in some cases even new keepsakes. And you can see I've unlocked a lot of them, but if we go down here to the bottom, the ones here in red are ones that I can't unlock yet because I don't have enough sparks to actually do so. I currently have 4, and I don't think I have anything available to me. Yeah, I'm up to the 8 level, so I can't unlock anything new until I get those, and then you'll see there's a bunch with question marks because I haven't found the memories yet. Again, another very unique mechanic that I have not seen in other action roguelikes. This also, though, means that there is, and if we look back here at our loadout screen, Lucid attacks. This is a huge list. Same thing with shields. Same thing with dodges. There are different types of dodges. Some of them are very straight and standard, rolls and things of that nature. But if you'll notice, that light speed one that I was using during those attack map squares were very different. I was jumping and zigzagging all around. So you're going to have to find what works best for you, and the same thing is true from a Lucid attack perspective. Same thing is true for ranged weapons. Same thing is true for melee weapons. Just in melee weapons alone, there are certain ones I absolutely love. There are certain ones I can't stand. They're too slow, or they don't fit my standard playstyle. So you'll notice the ones that I've already got mastered, the Super Slugger, Crisscross, Katana, those are ones that very much fall into my wheelhouse and I absolutely enjoy. But Twin Wolf Heads, I talked about earlier, are the gauntlets. They require you to be too close. I don't like being that close for a number of different reasons. There are a couple of enemies that will actually attack through you. They don't get staggered. They don't get stunned. So, you have to be extremely careful if you're going to be up close and personal like that. There's even an unarmed ability. If you just want to go completely punch out, you can. So you can really make it hard on yourself. That's really all that there is to this game. As I mentioned, there are a lot of similarities to Hades, but it is very different also. I actually enjoy the combat mechanics of this game more than I do Hades. It fits me personally a lot better. Hades tends to be very fast, and if you are not fast enough, you're gonna be dead. That is not as true in this game. This game fits more along the lines of an action RPG, like a Dark Souls or a Surge or similar, where the combat is more strategic, it's more thought-provoking, and because you have more options, it really attributes to that. Not everyone is going to enjoy the relationship building aspect that occurs in the hub world, but the fact that there are those unique mechanics for introducing different things to occur and different ways to build out your runs so that you have options for other weapons and attacks. You have the ability to get different types of rooms other than what's available from minute one. All of those different things that are available in the hub world, I think, are so interesting and unique. I've really been enjoying it. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is you might hear a little bit of the music. The music is not for everyone. It's very melodic. It's very mellow, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful music. I am so impressed with what these three gentlemen have done to create this game. I highly recommend that you all check it out. If you liked Hades, if you liked Curse of the Dead Gods, if you liked the Children of Mora, Arborea, any number of action roguelike games, you're going to find a way to enjoy this game. This is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Please make sure to go check it out on Steam. It is also going to be coming, if it isn't there already, to different consoles. But right now, I do know for a fact that it is available on Steam, and it isn't all that expensive. I think it's maybe $25 or $30 at most. Actually, you know what? Let's take a quick look. Go to the store page. And it is currently $17.49. This is during the winter Christmas sale, but it's $17.50. Absolutely a steal at that price. Go check it out. This is my latest recommended video game. I hope that you liked it.